Welcome back to Your Darts and thanks for joining me. Let's continue playing our game and learn some more dart checkouts. You know you want to. So we are starting with the big fish, the 170. Okay, but it's the same process. I want to really stress this. It's really easy with all these big numbers. When I first got told how to check out, I just got told to learn it parrot fashion. It didn't work for me. If you can do it, break it down into this process, it's a lot easier. So what is the first dart? This is the game. What is the first dart in the golden 44 number? So of course we're throwing for treble 20. It's the only treble we can throw at for 170. And to know what's left, even though a lot of people know this, but if you don't know it, you don't know it. You visualize 40, which is my rule of 40, onto the last two digits of any three-digit number, in this case 70, and it would leave 110. If you get those two points right, or the two answers right rather, you get 2 points. Okay, what's the second dart? So we've hit our treble 20, we've left 110. Now we got to think, okay, so second dart, basically what's my first dart I'm throwing at for 110, and that's going to be treble 20. You get a point for that. And then state your double, bullseye. Okay, treble 20 bull is 110, you get another point for that. Now what is the miss rule on that second dart? So you're going for that treble 20 when you're on this 110, okay? And you miss it, hit the 20, the single 20. Of course you can hit anything, but let's assume we just hit that single 20. It leaves 90. Okay, you get a point if you know it's 90, but if you know how to take out 90, there's a couple of ways I know, and that's treble 20 double 15, probably one of my favorite ways to do it. But if you're an 18s player, you can go treble 18 for double 18. Okay, now there are no alternate finishes for 170 or anything else that I can see here, so you've got to go for the treble 20 route. So that's number 170, the big fish. And to the next number, number 158. What is the first dart we're throwing for? So picture it on a dartboard. You're walking up to 158. You're going to throw for treble 20. But what is the golden 44? What is revealed? We just straight away, we think about, when we know we're throwing for treble 20, we think about that 40 onto the last two digits. 40 onto 58 is 98. That's why these two dart finishes are so important to learn first. So we know if you get that right, you get 2 points. Okay, so what is a two dart? We've got 98 left, and we have two darts. Now, the two dart finish for 98 is treble 20. You get a point for that, and you state your double. Oh, double 19, even though it's a rubbish double for many people, even though I know a lot of pros seem to go for double 19, but we hate them, forget them. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, but that's the only way to take out 98. Treble 20, double 19. Okay, and if you get the double 19, you get a point. Now, what is the miss rule on the second dart? So we're going for that treble 20 for that 98. We have to assume we'll hit the big 20. If we hit that big 20, of course I'm just taking 20 off 98, but that's 78. And then that's 1 point. But if you know 78 is treble 18, double 12, because it's all about practicing. Treble 18, double 12, then you get your 2 points. Right, alternate finishes. So alternate finish for 158. Yes, we can go the treble 19's route. So treble 19, and let's just clear this up so it's not too confused. But when we are going, so for treble 20, we add 40 onto the last two digits. But for treble 19, we add 43. The rule of 43. Okay, or just add on 43. Okay, so and if you can't see that, and it isn't easy sometimes to see to add that on, just add 40 on. Okay, just like we've been doing for the rule of 40, 98, and then add 3 more on, 101. Okay, so you got your 158, you gone for your treble 19, it reveals 101, because you know your two dart checkouts, and you got two darts left. Oh, this is because this is an alternate way to go. Then the only way you can go is treble 17, because that's 51 for your bullseye. Okay, 50, which is 101. So that's 158. On On to the next number, number 149. The first dart you throw for is treble 20. And because it's treble 20, I'm visualizing 40 onto 49, and it reveals 89. You get 2 points if you get those right. The second dart, so I've got 2 darts left. I always know how many darts I've got left, and I'm throwing at 89. The 2 dart finish for 89 is treble 19 for double 16. You get a couple of points there. Now, what is the miss rule when I'm throwing for 89? So miss rule on the second dart, okay? So my second dart, I'm going for 89. I missed the treble 19. Now we have to put into practice that we hit, or certainly know what the score will be if we hit the single 19. And if that's the case, we will hit 70. Okay. Now, if you get that right, you get 1 point. But if there's a few ways to take out 70. If you've got 2 darts, the way you should go is treble 20, double 5. Now, double 5 is a crap double. Yes, we all know that. Okay. But we go that way for 70 simply with 2 darts, simply because if we miss that treble 20, and there is miss rule comes into play, okay, and we will miss that treble more times than we hit it, and we'll hopefully hit the big number. Then it leaves 50, and you got 2 darts. When you got 1 dart left at that 50, you're probably going to go for bullseye, okay, unless your opponent's far away, and then you'll just carry on trying to work out your favorite double. Now, of course, 70 can also be treble 10, double 20. I like that one because I'm a 20s and 10s guy. Okay, but also very popular if you got 70 to go for treble 18 for double 8. I also like that finish as well. If you miss that treble 18, hit the big 18, it would leave 58. So also a decent number to continue with. Now, are there any alternate finishes? Yes, there are. You can go the 19s route on this if you want to. Now, these 19 going the 19s route, I think a lot of people will go the 20s route on these numbers, but I know several players who do not like the 20s. I mean, they'll go for them when they're trying to score, but they're quite strong at finishing when they're starting on the 19s, and this is why they go this way. So 149, just clean that up ever so slightly. So we add 43 when we throw in the 19s to begin with, treble 19. So we add 43 onto 49. Just add 40 onto 49. So easy to see it. So that's 89. And add 3 more on. It would be 92. So you throw in at treble 19. You reveal 92. And then you got, of course, you've got 2 darts left. If you know your 2 dart finishes for 92, that's treble 20, double 16. Okay, and you get a point for that. Also, just as I mentioned, but you get 4 points for that. That's quite a lot. I'm being very generous there. Okay, so that's 149. On to number 139. So my first dart. I can ask my opponent. You got 139. What are you going to throw at? I'm going to throw at treble 20. Oh, they get a point. And then what is the golden 44 number? The essential 2 dart finish, of course. So you just visualize, because we throw in treble 20. Visualize 40 onto 39, and that's 79. So you go, what's the golden 44 number? 139. That's a question you can ask your opponent. Oh, that's 79. That'll really show that they know what they're doing. Get those 2 right, you get 2 points. What is the second dart on 139? So I've hit my treble 20. I've left 79. How do I take out 79? There's a couple of ways to do it. I quite like to go treble 19. Get a point for that. For double 11, even though double 11's an odd number, and I don't always recommend an odd number, because if you go inside the wire and you hit the single 11, then you will need to break down the next number and waste a dart. But sometimes it's worth doing it. Now, in this case, why is it worth doing it? Because this miss rule. So on this miss rule, when we are going for treble 19, and we are probably going to hit the single 19, okay? This is just the law of the land, all right? And if we do that, it would leave 60. Okay, it's a lot easier to hit 60 than if you're going for another treble. It would reveal a different number. So this is 60, so easy to hit. Well, I take that back. It's not easier to hit. It's a single 20 for a double 20, but it's easy to work out. It's easy to do the maths. Okay. Right. Any alternate finishes on 139? Yes, there are. Okay, so 139, if you want to go the 19s route. So again, do a little bit of housekeeping. So we add 43 when we're throwing treble 19. So just add 40 onto 39, 79, and would leave, then add that 3 more on because it's 90. So we leave it 82. So treble 19, leave it 82. Now there's a couple of ways to take out 82. So I quite like bullseye double 16 because it's a little bit of a showbiz one. I quite like it. And if you hit that 27, so this could be a bonus point potentially. If you hit that 27, you would leave 57. And another way to take out 82, there we are, is treble 14, which is 42, and you need another 40 to make it 82, so double 20. Okay, if you hit that single 14, you will leave 68. So that is number 139. Okay, so number 167. No, you're not seeing double. We have covered 167 in the previous video. The next 3 slides, say that right, we've already covered them. I haven't, they've always been empty, these alternate finishes, so we are just going to cover this part. I think it's only fair. I think the reason why I didn't cover it is because sometimes commonly people go treble 20s, but a lot of these finishes you can go treble 19, and again it wouldn't be fair to not include it for these numbers like I have for many other numbers. So we're going to include it just because I know people who are strict on the 19s, so let's just include it. And it's good ways to process it in your head, and it's good practice, right? So again, instead of going treble 20, we're going to go treble 19. When we throw in treble 19 for our first dart, we add 43. And if you find that hard, just add that 40, which is so easy to see, 107. And then of course you've got to add that plus that 3 more on, because that's the rule. Okay, and it would leave 110. You've got 2 darts to take out 110, and that's treble 20 bullseye. Okay, so that covers number 167 just for the alternate finish. I think it's only fair. So on to number 161. Okay, and again we're just covering this last one because I missed it out when I did this. So you can print out the cards and have it a little bit more accurate and fair. Okay, so we're covering this one here. So we're going to throw a treble 19, and when we throw in treble 19, we add 43 onto the last 2 digits. But I always recommend adding 40 because it's easy to see it. 101. Add that 3 more because that's what you got to do when we throw in treble 19. It's 43, not 40. That's plus 4, by the way. Don't know what that looks like. So, and then it reveals 104, a golden 44 number. And the 2 dart finish for 104, the only way you can do it is treble 18. It's a noisy train, if you heard that in the background. Treble 18 for bullseye. Okay, and you get a point there. So that covers number 161. And so on to the last number of the day, number 141. We have covered this previously, but we've not covered an alternate finish on this. So if you are printing these out, you can certainly print this out and keep it complete, I believe. So we're going to be including this bit here. So we're going through a treble 19s, and with treble 19s we add 43 onto the last 2 digits. But again, I always recommend adding 40 on because it's easier to do it, easier to almost like instantly see it, and that would be 84. And of course we're adding that extra 3 more because this is a rule, and it would leave 87. And that's treble 19 leaving 87. And if you know your 2 dart finishes, and you've got 2 darts left on this one, of course, the 2 dart finish for 87 is treble 17 for your double 18. If you get that right, you get your point. Okay, so print that out. If you are printing these out and collecting them, it'll be a little bit more complete. So thank you so much for watching. I thought I better include those last 3 numbers. I didn't want to, for some reason I didn't include alternate finishes on the 19s, probably because people generally don't go for those. But if you're a 19s player, you're going to go for them, and it's only fair, so we will be including 19s where possible going forward. Again, I really appreciate people who are watching these. Thank you so much. Take care for now.